So in this video we are going to talk about the HTTP request. So in order to request any resource from the web server, we need to follow some certain format for requesting resource. Otherwise your resource will not be given by the web server. So there are many types of requests. So first one is get request. So get request is used to get a resource from the web server, and the post request is used to post some details to the web server, like form post, like you can see sign up forms and username, like all the details you will enter into the form, and when you click on sign up or some other submit button, then these details will be sent to the web server. And put request is used to upload the files, like putting the files on the web server. If you have the access to upload any files, you can use this put command. And the delete option, if you have the access to delete any file on that web server, you can use the delete request. And the options request just tell you what web server allows you to request for. So if this option says get, post and put, you can perform only these three requests. You cannot use the another request. So that's what this options request is for. It will request all the request types the web server allowed. And there is another request called head request. Head is same like get, but it does not get the content of the web resource. So in get we actually get the resource we want, but in head it will just check the connectivity, whether the resource is available or not. So let's take a look at this example. First one is this is whole is a one get request, and this is the format of the get request. You can see first one is the get. So I want to get something, and that is /test.html. so I want to get a test.html from the web server, and what I want to do is I want to specify the protocol I am using. So I want to use the HTTP 1.1. So 1.1 is like newer version, and 1.0 is a older version. The difference between these two is, and HTTP 1.1 keeps the connection alive after you requesting a web resource. So in HTTP 1.0, after you request a HTML or any file, after server sending the response, then the connection will be closed. So you need to again initiate the connection, and then you need to ask any other files. So that's a disadvantage, that will increase the load from the clients. That's why we specify HTTP 1.1. so within one connection you can exchange as many files as you want. So that is the first line. First line is the request line. So you need to specify the request type, and you need to specify the resource you want, and you need to specify the protocol you need to use. And this is called parameters, and this is a value, and like parameter name and the value. So you can see user agent means from which browser I am requesting the resource. If it says Firefox, it's Mozilla, and Chrome, Safari. These are the web browsers, and if you request from these web browsers, say Chrome, then Chrome will be act as a user agent. And the host is actual web server you are requesting the test.html. so in our case, let's say google.com. and accept is the content type you want to accept in your browser, like text or HTML. So you are telling the web server that I am ready to accept this text or HTML, and also I can accept images and GIFs. So the server on seeing this, it will send a HTML formatted of this test.html. And accept language, so I want to get this test.html in the English language. You can see ENUS stands for United States English. So I want the test.html to be in English language. I mean the content of the test.html should be in English. You can also mention any other format if that format is available, or you can just Google translate it. And accept encoding means gzip and different. So the server sends in this encoding format, and browser will decode it for you. And the content length is 50 bytes. This is the size of this test.html. And connection keep alive. So keep alive means after this requesting, after you send this request, you get the response from the web browser, and again you can send the request without initiating any other connection. That means one connection you can send multiple requests and responses. And here down you can send the any parameters we want to send to web server. So since this is our get request, we don't need to send any parameters in the most of the situations. So let's see another example of the post request. You can see the post slash login.html. So what I'm going to do is I am posting some data to this login.html for the web server side, and the protocol I'm using is HTTP 1.1. So all these parameter names and values are same: user agent, host, accept, texted HTML, and accept I want language as English, and gzip, content and connection. So up to here it is same, and then you can see there is a line called this is the actual data you are sending, and username is equals to Nikhil and password is equals to Nikhil. So this data will be sent into this login.html of the web server side. So web server side, on seeing this post request, it will take these parameters and pass it to the login.html. So in this login.html we will have some server side like PHP programming language. Then this username and password will be checked in database, and then the response will either the login successful or failed will be sent to the client. So once again we are just changing the get to post some data to the web server. So you can send the data as the variable name and the value, and separated by ampersand, and the name is name and value. Username is equals to Nikhil and password is equals to Nikhil. So in this way, if you do not have browser, you can also send via some command line tools. So we will see those tools in the later videos. So that's all about this HTTP request. I hope you have understood this one.